Welcome to your adventures in dreamland. Soft, surreal, and slightly cheeky sleep stories with awe and wonder. I'm Serene, your guide tonight. You may have noticed my stories are very different, yet kind of the same. That's because I write in many styles. Dreamscapes are surreal journeys where strange and beautiful things happen. Dream Grounds is cozy nostalgia that honors the unsung magic of real life. Dream Wonders explores incredible science, nature, and history. Dream Studies dives deeper into academia like physics and philosophy. Dream Priming is like an affirmation and a fun story. And Dream Spoofs takes a funny look at life's insanities. They all blend, but each has a home. Look in the playlist to find one that fits your night. They're all pretty yummy. If this speaks to you, tell the algorithm. A like or a share goes farther than you can think. It helps me keep the nightlights on. And do tell in the comments what stories you love, or whatever you'd like for me to dream up next. Now, we return to what we are. Moments before sleep are sacred and potent, a time when your subconscious is most open. Over 90% of how we feel and act is shaped here. So these stories aren't just for sleep. They're immersive adventures carefully curated to expand your inner world and spark real change in your outer one. It's like planting a seed in fertile soil. Let it take root, because in sleep, you unknowingly return to your purest state. Bliss, awareness, freedom. Your story begins. Love is Blind, the Sleep Edition, is episode 27 and the fourth in our Dream Spoofs series, where we appreciate the silly side of life softly. You step into the contestant lounge, and immediately the room sizes you up. Low couches lounge along the walls like they're waiting to be judged for personality. And the snack table looks like it got a spray tan just for the occasion. The air smells faintly of lavender, or possibly competitive tension. Across the room, the contestants mingle. Not people, exactly. More like dream world heavy hitters. A sassy alarm clock sits on the edge of the couch, legs crossed, tick-tocking just loud enough to be smug. A body pillow leans casually against the wall, like it knows everyone's going to fight over it by episode 3. A sleep mask keeps adjusting itself dramatically, whispering to no one in particular, "I'm not mysterious. I'm enigmatic." You smile, say hi, but also immediately check which contestants look like they'd steal your bedtime snacks. Everyone is warm and welcoming, but beneath the soft lighting, there's a tiny current of rivalry. After all, you're all here to find the one. Okay. So either I signed up for a regular sleep study, or I've accidentally wandered onto a reality dating show for blankets and beverages. Either way,
I'm apparently here to find my forever nap partner. The room goes hush. Two hosts glide in with the gravity of international diplomats, announcing a peace treaty, except the treaty is apparently about dating in pajamas. This, says host 1, gesturing with both hands like they're unveiling the moon, is about finding your true connection. Host 2 nods solemnly, and tonight, some of you may fall in love. They pause long enough for the body pillow to puff itself up and the alarm clock to smirk. They explain the rules like they're sacred scripture. You'll meet your matches through the walls. No peeking, no spoilers, only voice, only vibes. Eye contact is forbidden, but pillow talk is highly encouraged. The sleep mask sighs dramatically. Finally, a show that understands me. The hosts finish with that overly serious tone that means nothing and everything. Remember, in here, love isn't just blind, it's bedtime. The couches hum their approval. Somewhere in the back, a diffuser exhales like a contented producer. The hosts sweep an arm toward a glowing hallway that hums like a lullaby with a secret. Pods line both sides like glowing eggs about to hatch, either love or very polite disappointment. Their doors shimmer faintly, opening and closing with the drama of someone auditioning for a role called Dramatic Door Number 3. As you walk down the hallway, the lighting shifts to something softer, dreamier, like the hallway itself is rooting for you. The floor muffles your steps. The air smells faintly of freshly folded sheets, and somewhere distant, a harp plays a single approving chord. Each pod seems to have its own personality. One pod gives a slow, encouraging hum. Another pod sighs and whispers, "I contain emotional vulnerability and excellent acoustics." A third pod simply blinks its lights like it's flirting. You remind yourself, this isn't speed dating, this is dream dating. Totally different, except for how identical it feels. At the very end of the hallway, a cushioned chair adjusts itself invitingly, as if to say, "Take a seat, main character." You step inside your pod, and the door slides shut with the drama of a closing night curtain. The room is softly lit, glowing like a candlelit pillow fort, and a gentle hum vibrates through the walls. Part white noise machine, part heartbeat, part "you're safe, now be vulnerable for the cameras." A velvet armchair rolls itself gently into place, scooting under you like an over-attentive date. A table materializes with a mug of something warm you don't remember ordering. Lavender tea, steamed milk. Whatever it is, it smells like trust issues resolving themselves. Across the wall, you hear a soft knock, then a voice. "Hi," it says, warm and inviting. You introduce yourself, still a little nervous. "I'm the weighted blanket," the voice replies, with the kind of slow, comforting cadence that makes you instantly sleepy in a good way. "I'm heavy, but emotionally available." You laugh, a little too loudly, and the pod hums approvingly, like it ships this pairing already. Weighted blanket continues. "People say I'm a lot to handle, but I say, if you can't handle the pressure, you don't deserve the warmth." The tea lets out a smug little puff of steam. Somewhere off screen, a producer whispers, "This is the one to beat." Confessional cutaway. Suddenly, the pod wall dissolves into a confessional chair, or maybe you're just whisked there by dream logic. Either way, you're sitting under an aggressively flattering light. Weighted blanket appears in a little thought bubble next to you. You whisper to the invisible camera, "Honestly, they're a lot, but in a good way. Like, sure, I might need a forklift to get out from under all that commitment, but at least I'll be warm." Cut to weighted blankets confessional. "I could tell they were nervous, so I applied just enough pressure to soothe them, but not so much they'd pass out and miss my best lines. That's growth." The confessional fades, and you're back in the pod, sipping tea that has somehow been reheated and is now sprinkled with cinnamon hearts. Back to your date, weighted blanket clears their throat. "So, I know we just met, but what are your thoughts on commitment? Like full night commitment? No midnight scrolling, no ghosting for the couch. You promise you're ready for that level of loyalty." Though your voice cracks just enough for the pod to giggle softly, weighted blanket chuckles. "Good. Because if we end up together, you'll never need another layer." The pod sighs dreamily, and you feel the pressure, literal and emotional, of being here to find love. The pod door slides open with a satisfied shk, like it just witnessed excellent television and is letting you out for dramatic effect. You step back into the hallway, still glowing a little from the date. As you pass the other contestants waiting for their turn, you can feel their eyes, or, zippers, straps, and blinking LED displays on you. The alarm clock ticks a little louder, clearly trying to intimidate you with punctuality. The body pillow tosses its corner over its shoulder, like it's flipping dream hair. The sleep mask mutters just loud enough, "Oh, they're smiling. Must have been a good date." You give a polite little nod, half friendly, half yes. "We did have chemistry. Thanks for noticing." As you reach your next pod, a diffuser on a nearby table exhales dramatically, like a reality show producer sighing. "This will be good." You slide back into the pod, the door closing behind you with a soft but suspicious click. This pod is a little darker, a little more mysterious. The lighting comes from a single glowing strip along the floor, which somehow makes everything feel 10% more dramatic. The pod glows amber this time, warm and cozy, like the inside of a teacup. Somewhere, faint kettles whistle in harmony. Then comes the voice, rich, smooth, just a hint of steam. "Hi," it says, almost purring. "I'm the tea bar. Tonight's special is you, steeped slowly in chamomile and lavender." You laugh, partly from delight, partly because you've just been flirted with by a beverage. "Would you like to sample a flight?" Tea Bar offers. "I have herbal blends for stress, overthinking, and existential dread. Please sip responsibly." You smile, already feeling calmer. Tea Bar continues. "I can be bold when I have to, but mostly, I'm here to take the edge off your day." You sip from the steaming mug that rises from the counter as if by magic. The tea is perfect, not too hot, not too cool, like it's been waiting just for you. "Tell me about your ideal night," Tea Bar asks, conversationally. You think about it and describe a slow, peaceful evening, cozy blanket, no screens, maybe some soft music. Tea Bar lets out a pleased little hiss of steam. "I can do that. I pair well with quiet nights and cozy playlists, and honestly, I think we'd be a soothing blend together." Confessional cutaway. Suddenly you're in the confessional chair again. I mean, they were warm, comforting, smelled amazing. This could be something real. Cut to Tea Bar's confessional. I could feel them relax right away. You can tell when someone needs a good steep. The weighted blanket should be worried. Back in the pod, the lights dim slightly, signaling the date is over. The mug sinks gracefully back into the counter with a satisfied sigh. Back in the confessional. Tea Bar's voice drops to a playful whisper. "Tell me, are you more of a wildflower honey type? Or something darker, buckwheat maybe? I just want to know what flavor of sweet you are." You laugh, thinking about it. "Maybe clover or orange blossom?" Tea Bar hums in approval, and a tiny honey dipper spins lazily in the air like it's performing a courtship dance. "I have all the blends," Tea Bar purrs. "Chamomile when you need to calm down, ginger when you want to stir things up. I could be your perfect nightcap, your late night crush." You sip again. It tastes different now, like someone slipped in a hint of apple cinnamon, just to keep you guessing. Confessional cutaway. In the confessional chair, you murmur, "Honestly? I didn't expect to have chemistry with a beverage, but here we are, and now I can't stop thinking about apple cinnamon." Cut to Tea Bar's confessional. "They seemed into me, and I didn't even bring out the peppermint yet. I could keep them awake all night just debating honey varietals." Back in the pod, the tea mug glows softly.
then vanishes into the counter like a stage exit. T-Bar's voice lingers for one last flirt. Think about me next time you see a tea kettle. The pod goes quiet again. You sink back into the cushioned chair, daydreaming about apple cinnamon tea, orange blossoms, and clinking spoons. Then, knock knock. Your next date has arrived. The pod door hums softly, and the next voice slips through the wall like a late-night DJ with perfect timing. "Hey there," the voice says, smooth and inviting. "I'm the playlist of sleep stories. I'm not just one story. I'm hours of companionship." You perk up immediately. Something about this voice feels familiar, like you've fallen asleep to it before. Playlist continues, casually confident. "I'm there for you at 2 a.m., at 4 a.m., whenever you need me. I don't just show up once. I stay with you all night if you want." You grin, feeling a little flustered. "So, you're saying you're reliable?" "Oh, I'm more than reliable," Playlist replies. "I'm curated for you. I have the perfect pacing, the perfect music, the perfect endings that tuck you in without ever leaving you hanging." The pod lights glow a little warmer, like it's blushing for you. Playlist leans in, or at least it feels like it leans in. Other contestants might be a nice one-night stand. "I'm a whole season arc." You laugh, and it echoes softly in the pod, the sound effect of chemistry. Confessional cutaway. In the confessional chair, you whisper, "I think I just found my person," or "my playlist." Same thing at this point. Cut to Playlist's confessional. "We clicked." The other contestants should be nervous. I'm the whole package, literally a series of packages. Back in the pod, Playlist teases you one more time. Tonight's episode? Maybe it's about you finding love right here. Guess you'll have to keep listening. You smile, suddenly aware that you don't want this date to end. The pod gives a gentle chime, signaling the next date is ready to start. But you're still thinking about that voice as you settle back into the chair. The pod goes completely silent. So silent, you start to wonder if the next date ghosted you. Then, with a low, soothing whoosh, the voice arrives. "I'm the white noise machine," it says, velvety and a little mysterious. "I'm here to drown out everything else, including the competition." You raise an eyebrow. "That's kind of intense." White noise machine hums smugly. "Intensity is my brand. I can be ocean waves. I can be rainforest. I can even be industrial fan number 3. Whatever it takes to keep you focused on me." You chuckle nervously. The pod suddenly feels like it's holding its breath. Confessional cutaway. You whisper to the confessional camera. They were intense. Like, I felt calm, but also a little like I might be brainwashed if we went on too many dates. Cut to white noise. Machine's confessional. They seem distracted. That's unacceptable. My whole job is to eliminate distractions. I will not lose to a playlist. Back in the pod, white noise machine softens slightly. But hey, I get it. Sometimes you need quiet. Just don't forget who gave it to you. The pod lights return to normal, signaling the date is over. You exhale, not entirely sure whether you just relaxed or signed a noise reduction contract. The pod dims as though someone just turned down the world. Then a smooth, velvety voice slips through the wall. "Hi," it purrs. "I'm blackout curtains. I like to keep things private." You smile, already feeling the pod get cozier. Blackout Curtains continues, lowering its voice to a whisper. "When I'm around, there's no stress, no outside noise, no morning light. It's just you and me and a perfectly dark room." The pod lights dim even further, leaving you in near total darkness. You can't help laughing. "Okay, that's a little dramatic," you say, feeling around for your mug that isn't there. "Dramatic is my love language," Blackout Curtains replies. "I don't just block out the sun. I block out your exes, your email notifications, and that one neighbor who insists on mowing the lawn at 7 a.m. You nod approvingly. This might be the most romantic sales pitch you've ever heard. Confessional cutaway. In the confessional chair, you whisper, "They were intense," but in a comforting way, like I could totally see myself shutting the entire world out with them for a weekend. Cut to blackout. Curtains confessional. "They laughed. That's good. I want them to feel safe enough to laugh, but just wait until they see how good I look with blackout rods." Back in the pod, the darkness lifts just enough for you to see the outline of the door again. Blackout Curtains offers one final, smooth line before leaving. "If you choose me, we'll never see the light of day." The pod returns to its warm glow. You sit back, thinking about how strangely appealing that sounded. Just as you're starting to relax after blackout curtains, the pod fills with a soft mist that smells faintly of eucalyptus, like a spa snuck into the room without knocking. Then comes a slow, floaty voice, half meditation guide, half motivational speaker. "Greetings," it breathes. "I am the essential oil diffuser. I am here to open your mind,
clear your sinuses and align your destiny. You blink in the mist. Hi? The diffuser hums softly, and a new wave of lavender rolls in. Let go, it whispers, of your worries, of your tension, of that one email you never replied to. With me, you'll transcend into REM sleep. You take a deep breath, partly to be polite, partly because the pod now smells like a dream apothecary. So, you say carefully, what would a night with you look like? The diffuser purrs. First, I would fill the room with calming bergamot, followed by a hint of cedarwood. You would forget what stress even feels like. By sunrise, you would be reborn. The pod glows faintly rainbow for no reason other than drama. Confessional cutaway. In the confessional chair, you whisper, they were a lot. Like, I think I might have reached enlightenment in there. Or maybe I just got lightheaded. Cut to diffuser's confessional. They need me. Everyone needs me. The others are fine, but can they deliver patchouli-infused self-actualization? Number. No, they cannot. Back in the pod, the mist begins to clear, leaving only the faintest trace of lavender in the air. The diffuser sighs contentedly. Whether you choose me or not, you will never be the same. Namaste. The pod door hums softly, and you're left sitting in the quiet, very aware that your hair now smells like a yoga studio. The pod door slides open, and instead of a confessional chair, you find yourself walking back toward the contestant lounge. The energy has shifted. The low couches are buzzing with gossip. The snack table looks like it's been stress-eaten halfway through. And even the diffuser in the corner is puffing out something that smells like drama. Alarm clock sees you first and smirks. Oh, hey, it says casually, stretching its ticking arms behind its head. Just so you know, your little playlist of sleep stories told me the exact same thing they told you. Your jaw drops. What do you mean? They said I'm the one they want to fall asleep to every night, Alarm Clock says, with the smugness of someone who has never missed a morning in its life. Body Pillow gasps audibly, which only makes Alarm Clock smirk wider. I mean, no big deal, it adds, but we clearly have a better connection. I've been setting alarms with them since date 1. The lounge erupts. Sleep Mask clutches its straps dramatically, and someone in the corner whispers, "Not the playlist." You try to stay calm, but inside your thoughts are racing. Could playlist be saying the same sweet nothings to everyone? Or is Alarm Clock just trying to get inside your head? The couches lean forward as if they're waiting for a dramatic monologue. You drop into the confessional chair, still fuming from the lounge gossip. The camera light clicks on. You take a deep breath and mutter, "I don't know who to trust anymore. Are they all just flattering me to sleep? Or do they actually mean it?" You rub your temples, thinking out loud, "Playlist feels so real. But what if alarm clock is right? What if they're saying the same lines to everyone?" You lean closer to the invisible producer. "I didn't sign up to get my bedtime feelings played with. I just wanted a soulmate, or at least a good nap." The camera lingers on your conflicted face before the pod chime rings in the distance. Time to go back for the final dates and the proposals. You head back toward the pods, still feeling the drama simmering in your chest. Just as you reach the main hallway, the two hosts appear, gliding in like they're about to announce the fate of civilization. "Tonight," host one intones, "you'll decide who you want to spend your forever naps with." Host two nods gravely. "This isn't just about who makes you laugh or who brews the perfect cup of tea. This is about finding the sleep connection that lasts beyond tonight." The music swells dramatically, too dramatic, honestly, and the hallway lights flicker like they're winking at you. You have one final pod session, host one says, handing you an envelope for no clear reason. "Use it wisely. Your future bedtime is at stake." The hosts glide away, leaving you staring at the pod door like it's a life-altering choice, which, apparently, it is. You step inside, sit down, and take a deep breath. The chair feels softer than usual, as if even it is rooting for you to make the right call. The pod lights dim to that dreamy, romantic glow, the kind that makes you feel like this is either the most important moment of your life or a very fancy nap commercial. Then, the voice you've been waiting for slips through the wall. "Hey," playlist of sleep stories says softly. "Before we start, I just need to tell you something." You hold your breath. "I meant everything I said," playlist continues. "I'm here for you. Every night, every restless hour, every overthinking spiral. I want to be the last voice you hear before you drift off." You feel your heart squeeze. This is it. Playlist pauses. You can almost hear the music swell, and then says, "So, will you choose me? Will you make me your forever sleep story?" For a second, you want to answer, "Really, you do," but your eyelids are suddenly so heavy. The pod hums softly, like it's trying to rock you to sleep.
You yawn, blink once, and before you can say a single word, you're out. Cutaway to rejected contestants. Smash cut to the lounge. Alarm clock throws its bells up dramatically. Unbelievable. They fell asleep during the proposal. Body. Pillow shakes its head slowly. Classic. You think you've got a connection, then they just drift off. Sleep mask crosses its arms. Honestly, kind of iconic. Falling asleep during a confession of love. Power move. Alarm clock mutters, yeah, well, playlist better not hit snooze on me next. Meanwhile, in your mind, the pod melts away. Suddenly, you're back in your own bedroom, but it's glowing like a dream chapel. Your bed is there, dressed in crisp white sheets, looking better than it ever has. A small crowd of pillows and blankets has gathered as witnesses. The officiant, a very solemn-looking bedside lamp, clears its throat and says, "Do you take this bed to have and to hold, in naps and in deep sleep, in sickness and in health, until the alarm clock do you part?" You smile sleepily and whisper, "I do." Your bed sighs happily as the comforter wraps around you like a hug. You may now lie down, the lamp intones. You snuggle in, feeling the mattress cradle you perfectly. This is the connection you were looking for all along, and you didn't even have to leave home to find it. The dream wedding fades into the stillness of your real room. You notice the quiet, the safe, ordinary quiet of your own space. No cameras, no hosts with dramatic speeches. Just you, your bed, and the steady rhythm of your breath. The blankets feel heavier now, in the best way, like they've been waiting all day for this moment. You whisper a thank you to the pods, to the chaos, to every date that led you here, and let yourself sink deeper. Your room is perfectly dark, perfectly still, and everything in it feels like it belongs to you. Safe, quiet, exactly where you're supposed to be. Sleep takes your hand gently and leads you the rest of the way. Sweet dreams. Good night.